everyone, Jeff from Oakbound Studio here, and today we're going to be looking at how to play Factious Waste, the tabletop cinematic skirmish game. Now, if you are familiar with The Woods, our Celtic folklore fantasy game, this uses exactly the same core mechanics. If you're not familiar with The Woods, it still uses exactly the same core mechanics, and I've done some how to play The Woods videos that look at the way that character stats are built, the way that the various action tables work and interact. So go and check out that if you want to see that in a bit more detail. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to get some toys on the table. We're going to see how this thing plays. We're just going to go for it, okay? What I have got is I've got a little action table summary here that I'm going to be working from. I've got a few toys here. These are the ex-Grenadier Mark Coppleston Future Warriors figures that I find absolutely perfect for this kind of post-apocalyptic adventure, but you can use anything that you like, right? The game has been structured and designed so that you can use any sort of post-apocalyptic sci-fi archetypes that you like, and in the next video we're going to be looking at building posses using those archetypes, but just for now we're going to be using Mad Max style Future Warriors, and we're going to be getting them on the table, playing some turns, some actions. So let's stick some of these guys around the table here. Let's put him down here, this chappy over here, this chappy over here, this chap can sit over here. There we go. Right, we're midway through the game here. What I'm going to need is I'm going to need a field of vision token, field of vision template, because you'll see on the front of, well, you won't see from this distance, but on the front of these bases, trust me, there is a line that lines up with the center point of this template, and then the models can see everything that's in the inside arc of this template. That's one of the core mechanics. Each of these characters will have a stat line. They will have 5 different statistics that combine in different ways. I'm not going to talk about that now. We're going to discover those things as we get on. But important to note that those 5 statistics will add up to give 2 values. The first value is their decisiveness. That's how early on in the game turn they activate and go, and the second is their stamina. That's how much they can do when they activate. So for now, for this game, we're going to say that this chappy here, he has the highest decisiveness, so he's going to be acting first during this game turn, and you can spend ages poring over the action tables and going, trying to work out, exactly what actions you want to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, right, this guy, what he wants to do, what his intention is to climb up this ladder, run along the top deck here, and jump onto that next platform. So I'm nominating that's what he's going to do. He wants to climb up this ladder, run along this platform, jump over here. Now, in game terms, those are all going to be movement actions, so we're going to split them down. It's going to be a climb, which is to move up or down 1 level using appropriate handholds. So he can climb there. That costs him 3 of his stamina, okay? We're going to say this chappy here has 9 stamina, okay? So that would, let's say he's got a nerve of 3 and an agility of 3 and a strength of 3. That gives him his stamina stat of 9. So he's used 3 of those climbing up this ladder. He's then going to use another 3 of them to do what's called a walk action, although he's probably jogging or running or moving in a more athletic manner, but in game terms it's a walk. He's going to be going to the end of this platform. This is a movement that's based on his agility and his nerve values, and that gives him a value which is called his dexterity, which is essentially how far he can move in a walk action. So if we said he's got a nerve of 3 and he's got an agility of 3, that gives him a dexterity of 6. So that means for 3 stamina, a walk action is 6 inches along this platform. So that takes him, that takes him to the end here. Right, He's now declared that he's going to jump over this gap. So having reached his 6 inches, he's got 3 stamina left. That's enough for a jump, which is equal to his agility range. If he sprinted beforehand, he would add extra range to that, but he didn't sprint, that was just a walk. So it's just his agility range, which is 3. So he's going to now jump 3 inches, which is insufficient to take him over that gap, unfortunately. So he has failed that jump. And what happens is that he gets there, there's no ground, so he falls to the base of the platform. And a fall is a forced action. You take it if you are knocked off the platform or if you fail a jump like that. And he's fallen 3 inches there. So you would have to take 2 stamina off his remaining stamina for every inch that's fallen. He doesn't have any stamina left, so he can't do that. So he's just taking damage, and he's taking 1 damage for each remaining inch. So he's taking 3 damage and falling prone at the base there. Oh dear, mediocre, I think, is the phrase that comes to mind. Now, had he been able to sprint along here, then he would have had the extra inch that he needed to clear that jump. So if we go back and we replay this, what he would then have to do is climb to the top there for 3 stamina. He's got 6 stamina remaining. A sprint is going to be 6 of his stamina. So he is not going to want to sprint and then jump this activation. He's going to need to do it next activation. So he's readying himself for the jump there. And that's where we shall leave him for the present, with 6 stamina remaining. Okay, our next guy who's going to activate is this chappy down here. Now let's say that this chap is from the opposite faction and wants to prevent this model from reaching the end here and jumping over. So he's going to climb up to try and intercept. So a climb there, that's 3 of his stamina, but we're going to say this guy is not quite as agile, not quite as strong as the other chap here, so he's only got 7 stamina. So he's used 3 of them to get up there. He's got 4 stamina remaining. Now he can initiate a grapple with this guy. He can run in to try and fight with this chap here, which is what he's going to try and do. So if his agility is 2 and his nerve is 3, that gives him a walk move of 5 inches. So he would have enough to get into a grapple with this chap here. This is like a close combat fight. Mr. Mohican Punk Dude can see that attack coming. So he gets to make a reaction to the model coming in. And he has some choices. He can run away for 3 stamina. He can dodge for 2 stamina, or he can stand where he is. He has got 6 stamina remaining, we've decided, yes. So he could run away, but he's on the edge of a ladder. He can't run anywhere, really. Neither can he move to one side to dodge his opponent because it's a narrow walkway, so all he can do is prepare for the fight. This one then moves in and the fight begins. Now, we said this model has an agility of 2 and a strength of 2. That gives him a stat called his finesse, which is his fighting value, which is 4. Okay, so add those 2 together. This chap, we know he's got a strength of 3 and an agility of 3, so that gives him a finesse of 6. Plus, he hasn't used any of his remaining stamina. That's now used in the fight. So that gives him a score of 12 overall. The guy who initiated the fight loses the stamina that he spent moving into the fight because his opponent could see him coming. So he loses that. So he spent 3 stamina coming up here, 3 stamina coming across here. He's got 1 left. So that puts him on a score of 5 up against his opponent's 12, which is not a brilliant situation to be in, because that means his opponent has choice of all of these grappling actions that he can do. So what he is going to do is a throwdown, and he can knock his opponent to the ground there. That has, however, used all of this guy's stamina up. So that probably wasn't a very good attack to make on this guy's behalf, although it may be seen that he has achieved his purpose, because of course what he was trying to do was stop this guy from getting to the end of the platform. Okay, next person who's going to activate is going to be this chap here, down here with the crossbow, and he's going to make a walk, which, as we know, is 3 stamina, to the base here, and turn around where he can now see this guy up on the platform. He has a loaded crossbow. He spent 3 of his stamina. This guy only has a stamina of 6, so he's got 3 stamina remaining. He's now going to try and take a shot at the guy with the Mohican on the top here. The guy with the Mohican can't see the shooter, so he hasn't got a choice to react to it. If he could see, if he was facing this way for example, then he could react to that shot as it came in, but he can't, and in any case he has no stamina left because he was caught in a fight up on the top. So he can't react in any case. So the shooter is now going to try and make his shot. Now he has a perception of 2 and a nerve of 2, which gives him an accuracy, that's his shooting score, of 4. That then is modified in a number of ways. So he's within the field of vision, so he gets +3 to that, so that's a range of 7. He didn't sprint, but he did move, so he doesn't get any bonuses for that. His opponent didn't sprint, but did move, so he doesn't get any bonuses or penalties for that. But his opponent is 1 building level higher, so he gets a -1 to his shots. So his base accuracy is 4, 7 because he's within the field of vision, 6 because his opponent is up on a higher level. So he can shoot 6 inches, which is nowhere near enough to hit the guy on the top of the platform. He's completely missed. Now, what he could do to modify that is, before taking the shot, he could perform aim actions, and every aim action that he performs adds 2 inches to the shot. Now, you can't measure it beforehand, but we did just measure that, and we did just measure that at 8 inches. So, in actual fact, a single aim action would be enough to add 2 inches to make that shot hit. But he has done a walk, which is 3 stamina. A shoot is going to be 2 stamina, that's 5 of his 6. So he doesn't have enough stamina to aim beforehand. So he's made his shot, it's failed to hit, but the target still has to make a reaction. As he has no stamina remaining, the only reaction that he can make is to hit the deck. Our next guy over here, we're going to have a guy with a little organ gun blaster thing. He's going to make a walk action to the base of the platform here and climb up it. That's 6, so that's all of his remaining stamina. Then this chap over here with the gas mask, he's going to take a walk action to here, and then he's going to try and get this guy, our original Mohican guy, back up onto his feet on the platform. So that's going to be a relational order, and that's going to be a relational action, and that's going to be an order. So he's going to use his presence value, which is equal to his strength plus his nous value. In this guy's case, he's got a strength of 2 and he's got a nous of 3, so that gives him a presence of 5 inches. So he has 3 options. He can whisper, he can talk, or he can shout. A whisper is only 1 stamina, a talk is 2 stamina, a shout is 3 stamina. And a whisper is talking to somebody in base contact. A talk is speaking to somebody at his presence range, so 5 inches. A shout is at twice his presence range, so 10 inches. So does he think he's within 5 inches of this guy up on the platform? Well, on the basis that this guy shooting was outside of 6 inches there, he's going to have to spend more stamina. He's going to have to do a shouting action to the guy on the platform there. Okay, so he's going to shout using his double presence range of 10 inches, which is sufficient, and add 1 stamina to it to make it an order, and order this guy to get up. That means that this guy can now perform a recover action. And a recover takes all of his stamina, so he's back up again but with no stamina remaining. That's the end of the game turn. Everyone has done the thing, so now we're back to the starting player, who is our Mohawk guy here. So he now refreshes to get all of his stamina back. What he would like to do is run along here and jump over this gap, which is what he intended to do. He can move past the prone figure, that's not a problem. He can't necessarily move past this chappie here. He's going to need to do a sprint and then a jump, which is going to be 6 stamina for the sprint, 3 stamina for the jump. Barging past this guy here is going to take him an extra 2 stamina, so he wouldn't be able to do that and also make the jump. So instead what he's going to do is stay where he is for now, and then he's going to shoot at this chappie on the gantry here. Now this guy, all he did was a walk and a climb. He's got 1 stamina remaining. The shooter can see him. The model being shot can see the shooter. So he's just going to make his shot, and he's got a perception of 2 and a nerve of 3. So that gives him an accuracy of 5 inches. He's not going to bother aiming. He's not going to have any other modifiers. He's going to have 3 inches extra because of being within his field of vision. So that's going to give him 8. He's going to have an extra 1 because he didn't move. That's going to give him 9. They're on the same level, so he's going to have an accuracy range of 9 inches, which is plenty here. Now, because the shooting model, the model being shot at can see the shooting model, he could react. So he could he could duck, which is a minus to the shooting value. He could dive to get out of the way. He could run away. He could shout out to somebody else a warning. He's only got 1 stamina left, so all he can do is turn on the spot to face, but that is going to be enough to mean that he doesn't have to get knocked over by the shot, but the shot is going to hit. Now this is a powder weapon. This one here, this was a crossbow. This is gunpowder going off here, so it's loud, it makes a noise, and it knocks the target backwards when it hits him. He doesn't have to fall prone because he can react to it. He's got enough stamina left, but he now has no stamina left. And he's taking the impact value of that shot, which is going to be 3. So he's taken 3 damage on his endurance, which is 6. Okay, that's his number of lives, the amount of damage that he can sustain. So he's taken 3 damage. Because that was a powder weapon, all models that can't perceive the shooting model or the target and aren't blocked by terrain now have to react to it, but fortunately all of these models can perceive the shooting model, so they don't have to react. So that's his turn. Now this guy has the second turn. If he had a friendly model within his nerve range, this guy's got a nerve of 3, so if he had a friendly model within 3 inches, it would just cost him 1 stamina to get up, but he doesn't. So it's going to cost him all of his stamina to get up and stand here, which may not be a brilliant idea, but he's going to do it anyway, because we know that there are a couple of models coming up who could possibly help his situation out. So our crossbow toting guy here now is also going to try and shoot at the same target as before. He's not loaded now, so now he has to put a arrow back in his bow, so it's going to cost him 2 stamina to load. He's then going to aim this time at his target, which is going to add +2 to his range. He also hasn't moved this time, which is going to add 1 to his range, and his target hasn't moved either, which is going to add 1 to his range, so he's going to get some bonuses this time. So he's got his initial range of 5 inches. Did we say 5? No, 4 inches. His initial range of 4 inches, +3 for being within his field of vision. So that's 7. -1 for the guy being on a higher level, so that's 6. But +1 because he didn't move, 7. +2 because this guy didn't move, 8. +2 for the aim, so 10 inches. Well within. This chap can't see it, so he can't react. And so he's going to get hit. He's going to get knocked 1 inch directly away from the shooter, which in this case is going to drop him over the back here. So in addition to taking the damage from the crossbow, he's also fallen 3 inches. He only shot last time, which was 2 of his stamina. So he's got 7 of his stamina left. So that 3 inch drop is going to take 6 stamina off him. But he is going to be okay on the far side. He's not going to have lost any extra damage, just the 3 from being hit by the crossbow. So you can kind of see how this is working. The movements are all broken down into actions which take a certain amount of stamina from your available pool of stamina, and then you're stacking your stats together to give you values to interact on the tabletop. And you can do movement actions, and you can do shooting actions, and you can do grappling actions, and you can do relational actions, which are interacting with the terrain and with other models. And so you're trying to use your models to their highest abilities to control the battlefield, to move your models around and get them into optimal positions to make attacks, whether that's shooting or ranged, but ultimately to try and seize objectives. This is a very objective based game, and it's about trying to achieve a very specific aim each time you play. So it's perfectly possible to play games in which no fighting happens at all, although that's rare because we all like getting into a good fight, right? It's just about making sure that you're manipulating your figures to get into the right position in order to make those attacks count when they need to. So I hope that's shown you a little bit of how this plays out. Next time we're going to be taking a look at how you build a posse we're going to be looking at how you build a posse for playing these games, and then we're going to look at the campaign structure. We're going to have a look at the way that all of this ties together to play out action movies on your tabletop, and then we're going to look at vehicles, because what action movie would be complete without a car chase, right? So we're going to look at posses, then we're going to look at campaigns, then we're going to look at vehicles over the next couple of weeks. Stay with me.